It's no secret that because of a state mandate, residents must now separate food waste from regular trash. This new law has caused quite an uproar in communities all over the state, and finding the perfect solution has not been easy. The law has good intentions, which aims to mitigate climate change by diverting organic waste from landfills. Yet implementation has left many questioning the new law. There are currently three options for waste management customers to dispose of their food waste, which is dependent upon which service options are available to their residential address. They are curbside, community drop-offs, or self-haul. And here to help us understand this new law, share information, and answer a bunch of questions about the new program is Public Sector Services Manager from Waste Management, Rachel Haynes.
Hi.
So Rachel, hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Glad to have
nice
you
to
here.
See you.
And I tell you what, let's start out with how is this rollout going so far?
Sure. So there have been some hiccups. I think that there has been a lot of information and some misinformation, and it's something different. It's a large change for the residents of the area, and we're just here to try and mitigate those questions and concerns and help them through this change.
Okay. And well, let's start with the very basics.
Sure.
What is going on?
Sure.
In a nutshell.
As part of the SB 1383 state mandate that was passed in 2016, Nevada County this year, now that they have the improvements to the transfer station at McCourtney Road, are now obligated to separate their waste into three waste streams: trash, recycle, and organics. Mm-hmm. So that's the basic for the program. With that being said, each resident who had a green waste can will still use that. That now becomes their organics can. If they did not have a green waste can, they were provided one as part of their bundle in December.
Okay. Just for right now, let's talk about what would be recycle. What kind of stuff would we recycle?
Sure. So things like plastic bottles, cardboard, shredded paper can be recycled. Glass can be recycled. Aluminum cans can be recycled. Those are basics of recycling.
And organic, what goes into organic?
Organics would be green waste, so yard clippings, pine needles, any trimmings, and then also into that organic can, we're now adding food waste, which includes any type of bones, cooked meat, orange peels, potato peels, anything maybe that you wouldn't eat, give to your animals, or would consider compost.
Okay. Mention recycling. One thing I want to ask you, what about, I know plastic, there's buyback, but there are some things that are recyclable, but they are not buyback, such as
plastic bags.
What about, plastic bags are recyclable?
They're not.
Okay, they're not.
No.
So we have to put those in the landfill.
Those go in the trash.
Mm-hmm. What about milk cartons where it's a white plastic instead of the clear plastic?
So if they're like a white plastic milk carton or a milk bottle, those
like a gallon jug.
Yeah, those can go in recycle. What cannot is the milk cartons that have a waxy coating, because those are not recyclable.
And if I open up a can of Campbell's soup, I can put that in the recycle?
Yes.
Yeah, just wash it out and then throw it in there?
Yes.
Okay. One of the questions, of course, we live in a county that probably more than 50% of the population is, or close to 50% of the population are senior citizens.
Right.
Why does the senior discount only cover getting the larger cans? And can't we choose to get a mix in the size and still get the senior discount?
Sure. So the senior discount actually includes the smallest can, which is the 35 gallon. And in the last couple of years, when looking that this was coming to Nevada County, WM along with the county looked at different ways to give this program. And what we decided is most seniors are a 1 or 2 person household. so they don't generate a lot of waste. They also live in a rural area, and so having the large cans going up and down their road have not been convenient for them. So we chose to do the smaller bundle, the 35-gallon size for them.
Okay. Another question I have, a lot of seniors are asking about what if they have no yard waste and generate less than, say, a baggie of food waste?
Yeah.
It's because they don't have a yard, or they already compost, or they
Sure.
just don't generate food waste. What do we do there?
So with the state mandate, it's not a one size fits all type program, unfortunately. So with that being said, they don't necessarily give the option to opt out of just one waste stream. So the option that we are giving is customers can cancel and self-haul if they don't have a lot of waste. But unfortunately, they can't break it up. It's a bundle. So they're required to have all three waste streams.
All right. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
What size trash can would you get if we get this senior discount
Sure,
thing
it's the
straight up?
35-gallon, so it's the smallest.
That's the trash.
That would be all three. So you'd get the trash at a 35-gallon, the recycle at a 35-gallon, and the organics can at a 35-gallon.
But we can't mix them up.
What you can do is if you generate more yard waste and or more recycle, you can do an extra can. So you can get the senior discount, and then you can add an extra waste can of whichever waste stream at a price of around a little over $9 a month for that extra can.
Okay.
And still get the senior discount.
Yeah, I can understand why people are getting mixed up.
Yeah.
Now, it says there's a question about people wanting to opt out of receiving the organic yard waste can. Well, where does this policy come into effect, or needs to be addressed if we want to get change or
Sure.
something?
So again, it's a state mandate. So it affects not only the residents, but the county and the waste services company. So if they're looking for change or have more questions, they can contact Cal Recycle, who manages the SB 1383 program through the state, or they can contact their state representatives.
Okay. Now let me ask you this too. There's also a lot of people are concerned about having garbage at their house. For example, I live in the city of Grass Valley, but we still have critters.
Right.
I've got deer running around. I've got squirrels, raccoons. I got, I've had I've had bears through the neighborhood before, even mountain lions. There's a concern about putting garbage in there.
Yeah, about putting food waste into organics. So really the difference is that previously you put your food waste in the trash can, in the garbage can. Now you're just moving it to a different can. There are some suggestions to alleviate that. They're coming out with a bear lock that people can purchase it's a gravity lock. That we're trying to work with Cal Recycle on to come up with something that's feasible for that. There's also the suggestion that you can freeze your food waste and then dump that, which helps with the scent. You can also use natural remedies such as baking soda sprinkled on top. We have heard suggestions of people using a rag on the outside of their container because it's not organic. Soaked in ammonia, which the smell keeps critters away as well.
Okay.
So you can kind of hang it on the back of the can on the outside when you place it out.
I know that, okay, now we're going to get down to some ugly stuff.
Sure.
There's a lot of people have received information that if you don't use the can, or you don't put a certain amount of stuff in the can, you're going to get fined? I mean,
No.
people are going to, there's rumors going around, people are going to be digging through your trash, checking to see how much you got in there, because you put leaves and stuff in there.
Right.
But the suggestion was, put a layer of leaves, put the food waste,
Right.
put a layer of leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool, but we don't always have leaves all
Right.
year round.
Right. Or pine needles.
Or
Yeah.
pine needles. We don't have those all year
Mm-hmm.
around. At least in my house, I don't.
Right.
Are
you going to get?
First of all, there's not people that are going to be going through the trash or seeing how much trash
There are
I'm
not.
putting.
Right. There are not people to see that you are using it, and there are not people that are going to go around to see how much you're putting in there. What we will see, however, is if you contaminate your other waste streams. So for instance, we have something called Smart Truck, and there are cameras that show what is dumped, so they can see if there's food waste that's being put in your trash and or your recycle. What you'll get is a series of letters just saying, hey, we noticed that you're putting food waste in there due to SB 1383. We request that you put those items in your organics cart.
Okay. Now, I mentioned the fact that, I don't have leaves all year long.
Right.
I had heard that it's also acceptable to use a paper shredder at home.
Yes.
And then put that shredded paper in there.
Yes, you can put the shredded paper in there. We do suggest that you put that as well in a paper bag, so that if your can opens, it doesn't land all over the street.
Blow all over the neighborhood,
right.
Yeah.
So that's a suggestion. It also kind of helps absorb some of the food. You can also use things like pizza boxes or old cardboard. You can line your can with that as well, and that or soiled napkins, paper plates that are soiled, used, that don't have a waxy coating, you can put those in your organics can as well.
Okay. And you and I were chatting before we went on the air. It's my understanding, for example, I live in Grass Valley in the city limits. Matter of fact, my back fence is the city limits in my area. But I understand that people, for example, in Nevada City do not have to opt into this.
Right. So if you are Nevada City proper, so not a county resident, but if you are a City of Nevada resident, you actually are exempt, and that is an exemption from the state. Currently, that is due to the population size. So the state did consider two things. One is population size, so if it's a very small population. Also a elevation. So Truckee is also exempt from this.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we talked about that because of elevation, you're not sure what the elevation is.
I don't know exactly what the elevation cutoff is, but when the state looked at Nevada County as a whole, they did find that it was under as a whole was under the elevation.
Okay. But now that's just if you're a Nevada City resident.
Right.
Now, if you just happen to have a Nevada City mailing address,
right,
that's not good enough.
Correct. If you are considered a county resident but a Nevada City address, that doesn't exempt you because you're part of the county.
Boy, this is a lot of work to
it's
separate,
a lot, right?
Lots of garbage.
Yes, and I will say that while for our county it's new, most of the state has been doing this for several years. Sacramento and below the BayArea, and they aren't as rural as us. So as I said, it's not a one-size-fits-all program.
Has this kicked in our neighboring counties like Placer County? Are they doing
So
it?
Placer County currently, what they are doing is they're still on a one-can system, and the waste servicer there has done $2 million upgrades, $120 million actually, to their transfer station and landfills, so that they have hired workers to sort through your trash.
So if I live in Auburn, I don't do I don't have to do the organic, and that meets the state. That meets the state requirement.
Currently, yes.
Why doesn't Nevada County meet that?
Because they have a transfer station and are using, they had already used the 2-can system. So that's what the state deemed.
Okay. All right. You mentioned Placer County only has 1 can.
Right.
And everything goes in that 1 can, and they
Right.
actually have people, I guess they dump it on a conveyor belt and it goes through and they're picking.
Right. So they
Ugh.
have,
No offense. It doesn't sound like a great job.
So they have people and they have automation, so machines that sort and pick through. But with that comes a price. Their rates are quite a bit higher. In fact, more than double of what our rates here in Nevada County are.
What would those rates be? You said, 96-gallon can.
For a 3-waste stream 96-gallon can here in Nevada County, it would be about $90. In Placer County, such as Auburn, for a 1 can 96-gallon, it's $130 a month.
So almost
quite a bit
$40,
more.
$50 a month more.
Right. Right. And
well,
if
the reason I brought that up is that's one of the concerns about everybody is paying for this, of
right.
course.
And the other thing that they've added there is a charge for if you live on a private road. And so here we have community stops to kind of keep the cost down and so that we don't go up to a customer's house if they live on a windy private road that maybe our trucks wouldn't fit. In Placer County, if you choose to have service up to your road, they actually charge you extra for that as well.
Does it depend on the road, or is it
I
just a
believe
flat
it depends on the road.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, very.
Well, maybe folks around here will feel a little better about the cost of their trash bill
it's
now.
Still, it's a cost. And, sometimes, as we understand, there are a lot of seniors, about 40% in Nevada County. So we want to try and give them options and opportunities. So if any seniors are still interested in the senior rate, they can either come to our office off of Lomarica on Grass Valley Avenue. They can go to Nevada County Organics at WM.com and ask us for an application, or they can also call us at our local office.
All right.
And do that.
Well, now we're gonna kind of shift gears.
Sure.
I feel like I'm Monty Hall, and let's make a deal here. But I've got several items here, and I'm going to share these with you.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of play, what can does this belong in?
Sure.
How's this? First of all, I'm not going to let you have my water bottle.
Okay.
Because I'm still drinking water.
But you can recycle that.
I can recycle my water bottle here.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, okay. I'll put it for recycling.
Okay.
How's that? There we go.
You can keep it, but.
All right. Let's, here we have
pizza box.
a pizza box. So let's see what we can do. Clarification. Where would a pizza box go?
Sure. So this would be great because it's a soiled, used pizza box. This could go in the organics. A great thing for this would be to, if you can, to place it on the bottom of your organics can, and then it can kind of absorb some of any liquids or such from food waste.
Okay. So what about if you stuffed it with food waste?
You can do that.
You could do that too. Okay. Yeah. All right. So folks, stuff your pizza boxes with the food waste.
We actually like those in the compost. So compost turns within 120 days. So once it leaves the transfer station and goes to the landfill, they have a process to turn it within 120 days into compost. And things like cardboard and paper products really help give you a rich compost.
They go away real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So 120 days and it's mush.
Compost, yeah.
It's stuff.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put the pizza box here with our organic.
Okay.
Okay, we've got organic, recycle, and over in front of you is the trash.
Okay.
Okay, okay, what do we got here? As you can see, it's a little square box that says chicken broth on it. Well, this is a food item, so where would this go?
So this is tricky. So you would think, right, it's made out of paper, so you would think you could put it in the recycle. It actually would go into trash. The reason is because it has like a waxy film on the outside. Okay. So that's not acceptable in the recycle. Anything with a waxy film.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, we'll set it over here with trash.
Yeah, put that in
Excuse me
trash.
for reaching in front of you. It's a idea. This is like, let's make a deal. Okay, what do we have here? Next thing up, it looks like it's a little clear plastic container. For those of you who can see it at home. It says blueberries on it, so I assume blueberries were in this first. I see these in the store a lot. So where would this go? Plastic like this?
Yeah, these are recyclable. You can see they have like a little.
Oh, they actually have the little symbol on the bottom of
so
it.
you can put
Folks, check it out. The bottom of it, little recycle. That means the little recyclable stone goes into the recycle. So it would go in here. Okay. I won't look. I'll just pull.
Okay.
All right. Here we have had whole cashews in it.
This is
a plastic can with used to have nuts in it.
Yeah, so this is the same. This is sort of like a water bottle. So you can put this in recycle.
But it's not a buyback like
It's
a
not,
water bottle.
no, it's not a buyback, but it's still recyclable.
Okay, lid and all? Plastic lid?
Yeah, I would suggest taking it off.
Maybe we need gloves for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, this at least has cashews on it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we got now. I'm pulling out a plastic bag.
Right. So this is again
Guys,
a tricky one. So this is a compostable bag, right? While these can compost in the landfill eventually, they don't break down in that 120 days that I mentioned. So this has been a large question when we get calls or emails at our organics line. This, again, great to use in your trash can, but it does not belong in the recycle or the organics because it's still a plastic bag. So that would go.
But it's one that breaks down really.
It does break down. So we still suggest them to use because there isn't much room in the landfill. While regular plastic bags don't break down, these do. So these are also a good suggestion to just use.
What's the difference between them? I mean, is it what they're made of?
It's what they're made of. So this is made of a compostable material that breaks down. It'll eventually break down. I believe they say the time is like 6 months or so that it breaks down. It just doesn't break down in the 120 days.
All right, let's see what we got next here. Not looking, just the infamous milk jug that I talked about.
We might need gloves for this.
Nah, I think we're okay. It
yeah,
looks like
so this would go in recycle.
This would go in recycle.
I don't know if I'd open that one. That's
I don't think I will either. Yeah. It looks a little gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. All right, what we have here is a can of, or used to be a jar of Skippy peanut butter, and it looks like it's got peanut butter in it.
Yeah, so you could actually scrape out the peanut butter, put that in your organics. You could use a paper bag, put food in there, scrape out the peanut butter. You'd want to rinse that out to put it in the recycle.
So scrape it out and then rinse it out.
Yeah.
And it goes into recycle.
Right. So any of your recycle.
This one could go either way, kind of. If it's like this, it's going to go into trash.
If it's like this, it would go into trash. If you take the peanut butter out, put it in organics, rinse it out, this can go in recycle. If you're going to leave it like this, you would want to put it in the trash.
Okay.
It looks like that.
Let's keep digging through our... Actually, we cleaned the trash before we brought it, but just wanted to let you know.
I can just, you can load it up.
Okay, here we got a plastic container like you would see for sour cream. This one happened to hold French onion chip dip.
Yeah.
But it could be sour cream. It could be like feta cheese. I've seen them, Parmesan's in some of these different stuff.
So you want to, again, same thing, kind of clean it out. Dump any remnants in the organics, rinse it out, and then put it in your recycle.
Oh, that can be recycled after being rinsed out.
Right.
Okay. This is kind of fun. This is like Christmas Day opening presents. Okay, now we got a tricky one. This is a box from a pizza place, but it's from, looks like it holds something like chicken wings.
Right.
Or if it's the little bread snacks that you get.
Yeah.
Where would this one go?
So this you can actually, so it has soiled paper. The paper you would want to take out and throw it in the trash because it has a waxy film. But if you do that and there was like chicken bones in there or soiled napkins, you could put the chicken bones, the soiled napkins, and the box in the organics. Just take out the waxy paper.
Gunky paper.
Yeah, and put
Okay.
that in the trash.
Okay. We didn't clean the paper. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's good because then...
Okay. Now we have just looks like a, well, actually, I don't know, just a plastic cup.
Right.
Maybe a drink like a red Solo cup or
Right.
something that the song so talks about.
I know. So this is interesting as well because it is a compostable plastic. Compostable, not to go in your organics because it doesn't break down in time, but great for the landfill because it does eventually break down. So you're still doing the right thing by using these, even if you put them in the trash.
Okay, now, can I see that for a minute? I'm curious. How do I know this is compostable and another one's not? Is there some kind of a marking, a designation on it?
Yeah, they'll put, like this one says 100% compostable.
You have better eyes than I have.
Yes, not great.
Okay.
So it's made from plants. So this could actually go and recycle. If it was dirty, you could put it in trash and it'll break down, but it's also recyclable.
Okay.
You just wouldn't put it in the organics because it, again, doesn't break down in time.
So the ones that, well, yeah, this one says plants over plastic, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact. So if it has some sort of marking like that, it could be in the landfill and be okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, it looks cleaned out and everything. Let's put it in.
Well, actually, it can go and recycle.
Recycle?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
it's clean.
Okay.
So it can recycle as well.
All righty. All right. I think we're about done. One final thing. The old brown paper bag.
Right.
Which I find interesting because when I was a kid growing up, you always got your groceries in a brown paper bag.
Right.
Then we couldn't kill trees, so we got plastic bags.
Right.
But now plastic bags are bad, so we're going back to paper.
I know,
So,
confusing, right?
yeah, I know. That's why we're talking today,
Yeah.
is because everybody's confused.
So what's great about the paper bag, this can go into organics. Again, it's one of those materials that will help create the compost and make it a good, rich compost. This is a great item right now to use to put your food waste in. You can line your your organics can at home inside your house with a paper bag, put your food waste in it, take that paper bag out, put it right into your organics.
So either way, it could be full of organic or it could be just this. It goes right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any particular items that we probably haven't picked up here that you think you should mention that may
I would just say
make
still,
people question?
right, I would say still the plastic bag. We
Let's get
find
rid
a
of this
lot
one.
of those still in the recycle. Those go in the trash. So your bags from Target, the even the reusable bags, those bags you want to put in your trash.
The ones they say more than one use at the grocery store that you get. Okay.
Right.
Those should go in there.
Right.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just thank you for having me today. And again, if anyone has questions, they can always reach out to us at our local office. We love to help.
Okay. All right. And I guess I'll make sure next time we have some gloves, okay?
Yeah.
But everything's been washed. We're okay. Just so you folks know, we're not contagious, anything, so we're good. All right. All right, everybody.